shows are intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Greetings, one and all. Welcome to Morning Edition. I'm your host, Loki, and yes, we are talking about the latest episode of STD, which I don't even know what I watched. I don't even know what I watched. I have no idea what I just watched. I have no idea what the hell just happened. I do know Rihanna Creel just sent us a 99-cent super sticker with some popcorn. She is ready this morning. Thank you so very much, Rihanna Creel. Skull!
Spartans! What is your profession?
And boy, are we in that mode this morning. I would like to welcome the one and only half of the tag team Valkyries, Samantha Joe. Greetings, Samantha.
Good morning.
I'd also like to welcome the one, the only, the rooster in the hen house, Dave Bob.
Good morning, people.
We also have with us this morning the rambling man himself, Rambling Canuck. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, brother and all.
And of course, we have the expert of experts when it comes to Star Trek, the one man that can save us from this dread in the morning, the one and only leader of Karoga, Bird of Prey 5, Kapla. Good morning, Bird.
Kapla all. It's a rough one.
Yeah.
It's a rough one. Yep.
What did we just watch?
We are not amused.
I think they should rename the show to Star Trek Cringe.
Yeah.
Because that's
nice.
what we've got.
Complete bullshit on CBS. I mean,
CBS all ass hats.
And Derek McManus knows how to start the morning off right. He asked Loki with a 2-pound super chat. Godzilla Skull, please ask and thou shalt receive, Derek. Skull!
go.
Oh, that's so loud.
Oh, shit. And Chris Persia, Loki, but at least we finally have Adira's pronouns.
Oh, God.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
We are
Like-
not amused.
Totally. Can you, please address me as they or them? Because, I'm a total we.
You know, she didn't even say please.
Yeah,
No,
it's
to be
I
clear.
have,
There
a
we go.
I have a multiple personality disorder, please. Fuck, Jesus Christ.
Please would make it seem like there was a choice.
Mm.
Yeah.
Telling him how it is.
That is uber virtue signaling right there.
Yeah. Yeah, big time.
Lord Bob, loud? Loud? That's not loud. The Valkyrie's opening is loud.
Loud and proud.
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Pride looks good on you. Oh wait, there was a line from this episode, followed up by a little man-on-man smoochy kiss.
Yeah.
And Dirk Kuhn, not a native speaker, the neutral they pronoun does not confuse me as much as I expected, but the plural used for one person does a lot.
Yeah. For real. I mean, you don't know whether they're talking about the other personalities in her, or what.
Every time they say it, I keep thinking, oh, they're saying they because,
Yeah.
there's 7 people in her.
Yeah.
But no, that's not why they're saying they.
No.
And the spoiled Quinny baby doll. How did Loki get rid of our volume buttons? I don't know. I don't know how I do it. I just do it. Oh, and Derek McManus, I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. We can do that. We can do that. In fact, Psychodorf 9 suggestion. Schedule the ambulance, unlock the door. Then when Burnham says something stupid, take a shot. Wake up in therapy. Well, since we are talking nukes, I'll tell you exactly what I wanted to do throughout this whole episode. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Psychodorf 9. Skull!
Go!
That's what I wanted to do about this whole episode. Thank you so very much. Psychodorf 9. Skull, brother.
I don't know if anybody else was kind of confused, but when a starship is kind of in low Earth orbit, is it that visible? I mean, I can see.
Well, from space, that certainly wasn't low Earth orbit, what we were looking at.
I know.
No.
That was a high orbit.
Yeah. And
Low orbit, you can't even see, the planet's round.
Right.
In low orbit, you barely see the roundness of the Earth.
But I mean, you could see that thing with the naked eye, and he could actually pick his ship out, that little bitty ship.
Yeah.
That ship's tiny.
Either that's the tiniest planet ever, or more than likely they just completely messed up and have no idea how far away they really were supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at least in what was that, First Contact, that was realistic.
Yeah.
You couldn't see the Enterprise without a telescope.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it would have been like.
And Joseph Petrick with a $2 super chat. 7 people in here is a different movie category.
Oh, that's a specific category on the hub.
And thank you so very much, Joseph Petrick. Skull, brother.
Skull.
Skull.
I got Bird with a skull. Bird shouting out a skull.
It's Joseph, and his pronouns are them.
These them.
Them. Also 9.
9.
Also 9.
The humor, so-called humor in this show was like everybody said, it was so cringeworthy, but there were actually parts of the show that weren't supposed to be funny where I laughed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Well, what part were those? Maybe I'm
Mostly it was just like, ugh.
I don't think I was supposed to laugh when the doctor said,
Yeah.
if I had time, I'd have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I was supposed to laugh, it was definitely for a different reason.
Mm-hmm.
it's just
You
odd.
ain't having kids. Who are you kidding? You're having kids.
How exactly does that work?
I mean, you could adopt, but it's not the same.
Maybe they figured that out in the 32nd century. Who knows?
The atomic scan.
Yeah.
We got to do an atomic scan. Like, no, you don't. Her atoms aren't sick. Atoms don't get sick. That's not the problem.
Yeah.
We got to check her out on an atomic level. No, that's bad science.
Dig out while my pronouns are master, lord, and by your command.
Imperious leader.
Sir will
Cloning.
do.
How does
sir.
that work? Can you imagine that? Okay, we're gonna have a kid. We're gonna clone me. We'll just clone me, and I'll be your kid. Does no one?
Well, they kind of hinted at him having a kid though already. It's they.
Who's gonna carry it?
No. Loki, think about one of the last shots. We see all three of them together.
Yeah, Adira is the kid.
Adira.
Yeah.
Adira is
They're standing like proud parents watching their child go to bed.
What do you
They?
say? It's not. Is it a daughter or a son?
They.
An it.
They.
Well, they doesn't replace daughter
No.
Yeah. They are
Child.
still a child. They are still
child. It's child.
Or children. There we go.
Like, she's not a child. They're not a child. Technically, they are. Technically, they're 300 something years old.
It's social pandering at its peak, is what it is.
Yeah.
This is no longer a show about science. Star Trek is no longer about boldly going where no one has gone before. It's about Michael Burnham and they and them.
Boldly go where no they has gone before.
They could do that. I could see them doing that.
Oh God, no.
And naturally, Michael Burnham, she figures everything out by herself, things that everybody else had been working on for years and years, but she comes up with it in about 15 minutes.
Does anyone even remember how this episode started? Because I don't. I was just like...
It started off with Colbert and Georgiou having their insult fest while he was trying to get her to go get a scan.
Yeah, the cringe fest.
Oh, it did, didn't they? Because that was the point where I was like, okay, tuning out now. I would eat you alive like eggs from a larva. You're going to sick bay. I will eat your children's heart. Okay.
Gonna put your head on my
poison your children.
Am I supposed to be afraid?
In my universe, the physicians are buried with the emperor.
Yeah.
To assure loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, she bad.
I'm not afraid. I'm not amused. I'm not afraid. I'm not.
I guess that atomic thing must have really worked because at one point it looked like she was kind of coming apart at the seams on her face was all kind of
when it got distorted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yep.
I just what have they done in this season at all to make me care or give a shit or anything? They haven't done anything.
Nothing yet.
It's been progressively getting worse and worse, more nonsensical.
Yeah.
Every episode. I mean,
So we got Book saying I gotta go home. I got a message from my brother. I gotta go home. I mean, that's pretty much where the episode started for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Go home.
yeah. And then Michael Burnham chiming in and saying, well, you can't get there for 2 weeks. We can take you there, with our little spore drive and instantly.
For some reason, his ship can't do transwarp anymore. I mean, it could before. Now she says if they go to transwarp, it's less than a 50% survival rate. But
Why?
when did that happen? Why?
Yeah.
Plus, he's
I mean,
got this pristine dilithium. You would think he'd be able to do better than he ever did.
Mhm.
In Psychodorp 9, no. Mystery Science Theater 3000 could not make this funny. No, I think you'd have Crow just in silence. What the hell are we watching? Why are we watching it?
Tell me the check didn't bounce.
And Darkoon, how did that message get there? I guess it went through the transwarp conduits. That
The courier got it to him.
Yeah, he said came through a courier network. If the courier network comes to the Federation, it's a giant, safety. What's the point of the Federation being cloaked if they're still getting traffic in from courier networks? That never made sense. The fact that Book was even able to find Michael Burnham last week at all made no sense. And the fact once again this week they can find, and they don't have any idea where he is, or they shouldn't have any idea where he is, again makes no sense. None of it ever makes any sense.
Do y'all remember that?
Pulling threads.
Do y'all remember that something dark side from Family Guy? I think that was the last one. Remember when they're gonna throw Luke and them in the pit, and they all stop and they're all looking at each other? It's like done, and they go on with that for like a full 2 or 3 minutes, where they all keep looking at each other and they keep seeing each other, and they're not actually saying anything. It sounded like the opening to Mario Brothers there for a second. Every time something happens, the crew side eye each other. You, and it like goes around a circle on the bridge where they're all looking at each other like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, the tension is building. Audience, get ready. Oh no, I'm not.
And they actually had to try to come up with a phrase for him, a catchphrase for him, like engage or whatever. And boy, was that, if that wasn't the most cringe crap I've ever seen in my life.
I don't. Why can't they just hit their comm badges and transport there?
They got site-to-site transport now.
They did it in the JJ movies. So if they did it in the JJ movies, and it's 1,000 years later, why can't they just tap their comm badge and transport to the planet they want to go to? Why do you even need warp drive anymore?
Well, there were several civilizations in Picard's time where they could transport, just thousands and thousands of light years. And, in 900 years, you'd think the Federation would have caught up a little bit.
Yeah. They didn't. Maybe that's why that ancient civilization actually used that, because all their dilithium got blown up. So they figured out how to transport around to different planets. They didn't even have to use warp drive anymore. They just transport to the different planets. I don't get it. I don't get it. So they get the Book's planet, and we get more how do you do's, and none of this makes sense. And we've got an Orion woman that may not be a woman, that may used to be in a they or them or though. And it's the biggest just, what am I watching? I don't know. I don't know. It's not Star Trek.
And don't forget the white guy must die.
Yeah.
White males must die.
Or the green males in this case.
The Khaleesi terror of white guys.
He only has a white guy haircut. He's going to be fed to the worm.
Yeah.
Ugh.
As the worm turns.
Like Uzi. And it turns on Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
The worm has turned and is packing an Uzi. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Are we just here?
Pretty much.
This show was just brutal.
Yeah, there's nothing cohesive about the writing. They can't even in the same episode stick with what was being said, like you said 7 seconds before.
Yeah, Bird. What was that again? 7
Right.
seconds.
Okay. So in the early part of the episode, Michael Burnham she comes in to Georgiou to be with her because she's getting a medical scan. And Michael Burnham tells Georgiou, she's like, listen, this is very important. I'm not going to leave until we get this figured out. I'm not going to leave your side till we get this figured out. I then counted 7 seconds. Michael Burnham says, and she says, she's like, call me if there's an update. And she leaves.
Yeah.
7 seconds. I'm not going to leave your side. 7 seconds later, call me if there's an update. Why?
Could you imagine going to the hospital and taking your friend's hand?
Yeah, it was very emotional.
I'm gonna be here. And I'm not gonna leave you. I'm gonna be here the entire time you're here. I think I'm gonna go down to the cafeteria and get a snack. I'll be back later.
Yeah, not even I'll be back later. Like, I'm gonna go down to the cafeteria and go on YouTube. Call me if you need me.
Yeah.
Well, I need you now. You just said you weren't gonna leave.
I can't imagine.
I mean, of course, Georgiou doesn't stop protest because it's not in Georgiou's nature to do so. But what the hell was the point of saying you're not going to leave? That completely takes the whole emotion out of that moment and makes you look like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the writers forgot what they wrote.
Yeah,
They probably
did.
finished the night and said, yeah, we're going to say Michael's not going to leave till it's over. And then the next day they start again and forgot what they wrote the night before.
Yeah, but they went home on Friday night, on that note, and Monday morning they couldn't remember.
So Michael goes off to go meet Book because she has to meet Book for the story to continue. Just randomly in the corridor, by the way. It was a 1 in 1,000 chance.
Yeah,
He was
what are you
gonna
doing
run into
here?
Book.
Yeah.
They didn't use their comm badge or anything.
No, I'll just walk all the way to sick bay.
Yeah, and
Why doesn't anyone walk?
you find out he has a brother.
You wake up, you're late for your shift. You just jump up in your pajamas, double tap your comm badge. It gives you a uniform automatically, and you're automatically on the bridge. Why even walk anywhere?
Good a question as any.
Is
They
that
could just
me
transport like they
nitpicking?
did, like Linus did, just transport all over the ship.
This isn't engineering. No, you're in.
Because the bulkheads can only contain one Tilly.
The ship leans to the right.
Little bit of a list. It's all good.
So speaking of Linus, this episode, although he's barely in it, he's apparently shedding his skin. So Tilly tells Saru that he's been ordered. He had to be ordered to stay out of sick bay until his skin stops shedding. Not sick bay, the mess hall.
Mess hall, yeah.
Because obviously his skin was getting in the food.
Yeah.
So he's been ordered to stay out of the mess hall until he stops his annual shedding. This guy, does he not get it? Does he really need somebody to order him not to go into the mess hall if your skin is falling off, making the other people uncomfortable?
I don't know. He sneezes on everybody and pops in on them when they're having intimate moments.
Nobody, reprimands him. They laugh when he sneezes on somebody.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, sorry. And they're like, oh, good for you. Until you're the one sneezed on. And Not so good.
Burnham and Book, settling down for a quiet night, quiet, intimate night. I've been feeling fine, baby. It's been so long, right? And then, whoosh, this isn't the science lab to do. That's it. It's over, Book. Put the pants back on. You're done. You are done.
The lizard just saw me naked.
Oh, broken entertainment writers don't even understand the idea of continuity of rules from episode. No, they don't. They don't.
So
I gotta ask, with the writing this shitty, how does Jonathan Frakes direct this crap?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a better director than this.
Yeah, but remember, he probably has enough money in the bank that he can afford the good stuff. So he's probably had about 3 bottles before he gets on set and sticks by the time he leaves.
A couple of bottles of Macallan 12 and he's good to go.
Probably like,
what's on the docket today?
Discovery.
Discovery. I need a case of the good stuff.
Meanwhile, Picard's over on the set of, Picard saying, does anyone have any orange slices? I'm drunk. Make it so. Number 1. There are no number 1s anymore. Oh, sexist stuff. Yes.
Fine, I'm going to go have a number 2.
When we can sit here and do this, and that's funner than watching the damn episode, there is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. There is a problem when we can have more fun just sitting here goofing off. That's an issue.
Uh-huh.
Well, like you said, you there's no rhyme or reason for any of the stuff that's going on. I mean, they go to the Admiral. The Admiral says, we're not going to risk the ship. But then, Burnham says, we have to. And so, okay.
Yeah. Override the Admiral.
Oh, of course. Of course. What does it matter what the Admiral has to say?
Yeah.
So I go to over 9 with a $2 super chat. Which side is Tilly on? Counterflood, damn it.
Yep.
And guys, I had to run through my head a couple of times while I was watching this. So, by all means, please
Stick around.
Thank you so very much, Psychodorb 9. Skull, brother. You guys keep the fires burning bright in Valhalla. Speaking for the dead, writers, what writers? I was under the impression it was monkeys in a room banging on typewriters. It's worse than that. It's
worse.
It's the Gilmore Girls writers group.
Ugh. That explains everything.
It's the Gilmore Girls writing group.
I'm not watching CW. I'm trying to watch Star Trek.
Well,
How about write it Star Trek?
No, because
that
then
would
they
take
would have
intelligence.
they would have to explain technology instead of running around screaming, "We know science!"
Yeah, we're going to bust you down to the atomic level just to take a look at your innards there, girl.
What did Bird say? Atoms don't get sick.
Sick? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so they go to Book's home world. It's got bugs. Is that it? Bugs are eating the harvest.
Yeah, locusts. Plague of locusts.
Sea locusts.
And we don't have any bug spray because they outlawed DDT over 1,000 years ago.
Napalm.
Apparently, these water creatures that live in the ocean can float and come up on land and eat everything on land with no visible means of propulsion other than they'd look like a little jellyfish.
Their butts slide up.
Jellyfish.
Their butts slide up. It'll be cute. Their butts slide up.
Yeah.
They'd probably taste like chicken if anybody tried to eat them.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a starving planet.
Yeah.
Somebody could probably try to eat one.
That's a protein
rather than
source.
Die.
An active God, but they don't believe in God. And spoiled Quinny Baby Doll, you know what would be awesome if this panel wrote and directed an episode?
Right?
We could do that.
Burnham would be dead in the first 5 seconds.
Oh yeah. Or in the brig.
She would be pounding rocks for life.
Uh-huh.
No, because the first 5 seconds of the episode would belong completely to Bird, and they'd be like scraping the A off of Discovery. They'd be scraping that A off the end of the numbers off Discovery, off the NCC designation.
It would just be like a controlled implosion. It would just be like, yeah, clear. And somebody pushes down, and then the whole ship just implodes on itself.
Where the hell are you, Q?
Did we forget to empty the ship? Oh well.
Oh well.
Or we
Next
Hang
time.
on, bird of prey decloaks, ship blows up, recloaks. Directed by Bird of Prey 5.
Nice.
Hail Karoga would be the name of the episode.
Let's flip the dogs of war.
Oh, good morning, Lethal Lightning. How are you doing, brother?
Hey,
With the
Lethal.
$2 the $2 super chat. Ayo, listening in while doing stuff. Have a great day. You have a great day too, brother. And we're going to throw you out of Skull this morning. Skull!
There it is. It's you. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Shit. I tell you what, I would love. You know what? We could have Seth MacFarlane come on the show.
Oh my God.
Seth MacFarlane come on the show, direct the episode. They could meet up with the Orville. The Orville could destroy them for being completely and totally fucking boring. And,
Yep.
I think he'd look at you and say, even I have standards. I ain't touching that shit.
Bortis shows up on the screen. I mustache you a question.
With a cigarette. He's Marlboro
With a
Man.
cigarette, yeah.
Sitting on an egg.
Q just needs to show up and go, oh, for fuck's sakes. Snap his fingers and gone.
Yeah, Trinoculars. If he had right in the Wesley Crusher treatment every time Michael Burnham has a line, shut up, Michael.
So they're sitting there. They get to this Book's planet and they detect a massive warship coming in from warp, and it's going to be there in 30 minutes. So what do? Oh, me and Book, Burnham and Book, let's just jump down to the planet real quick. We've got 30 minutes before they're here.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, why not?
Meanwhile, the green Orion that we don't know if it's a dude or a chick or they or them or a him or her. We haven't figured that out yet. Wants to just kill everybody because she's pissed. We don't know why. They say, oh, she's afraid, but she's just out there killing. Everybody's killing and killing and killing and killing and killing because that's Star Trek now. I think Michael Burnham kills 2 people in this episode, doesn't blink an eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're on Book's homeworld. He's got a brother that's not his brother, a brother from another mother. And I didn't even get the explanation for that. Someone on this panel told me, oh, they're not biological. Okay.
But they got the same powers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're the same
Broken
race,
Entertainment.
essentially, right?
Yeah, they're the same race. They have the same powers. Broken Entertainment. Remember the stunt setting? It was like a crossbow gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
It
it
looked
shot
like-
arrows.
It
I was
looked like
like,
a
what?
phaser, but it shot arrows.
Yeah.
And the day of phasers, let's shoot them with a a bolt from a crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even a crossbow. It looks just like a phaser gun, and even winds up when she like shoots it. It's like wah, and you're like, what? Why?
That's the little air compressor in there building up the charge to shoot the dart.
Okay, so you gotta wait. You gotta wait too. So you fire it, and then it has to like build up enough compressed air in the gun to shoot again.
I guess.
Well, unless Burnham's shooting it, because there's enough compressed air in within Burnham to fire that thing like a machine gun.
Oh, that warship comes in and talks to Saru. Saru just pretty much says, "Look, we're just here on, peaceful mission. We're just here to observe. We're not going to do anything."
Colin B. Smith. Now, Real Trek would have an actual race where gender is changeable, or just no gender at all.
Yeah.
They did that before.
Yeah, they had asexual people.
Yeah, we all make jokes about Riker. You have a no noticeable gender in your race. Challenge accepted. And we don't know Broken Entertainment. We don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this.
It's like watching a train wreck.
I think for everybody on the panel except for Loki, I think it falls under the category of #blame Loki. For Loki himself, I'm not sure.
We just get sucked into the vortex. That's all.
I like punishment, maybe.
Sadistic?
I don't know. Yeah.
It's kind of like, it can't get any worse, can it? Really?
Really?
Well, that's why that says that on the thumbnail this morning. Can it get any worse? Oh yes, worse is out there and it's waiting for you, and its name is Michael Burnham. Its name is Michael Burnham. I get up every Thursday and I said, this shit can't possibly get any worse.
Surprise.
So it's all about Michael again. This episode is all about Michael. You've got some B and C story in there, but it's all about Michael. Have no fear. Michael is here. Michael's going to figure it out. No matter what the problem is on the planet, no matter what enemy they may face, it's Michael. And even Lisa Left Eye, she praises Michael. She's like, yeah, I went manual controls, pew, 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 and it was all because of Michael.
Like Bird said, she got her groove back.
Yeah.
And Chris Persia gets it. He gets it. For Loki, it's a game of mischief, making you all watch Drek. Yeah, Canuck's sitting here going, ha, 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 Loki, because you did this to me, you have to watch Picard. Well, guess what? Picard's better than this.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, my God.
So
yeah, it is.
And I fucking hate Picard. So it's still better than this.
And Book's little ship is a bad little ship, man. It can take out a heavy cruiser and get hit by 8 photon torpedoes and come out with just scratch the paint a little bit. Got a little dang here or there.
Got to take a wrench.
We can buff that out.
Well, it is so bad that as a wrestling fan, one of the worst scripts ever written is the Finger Poke of Doom and the Katie Vick storyline. This makes that look like a fucking masterpiece. Like it's just fuck.
Oh yeah, it's Shakespeare. It's Shakespeare compared to this. It is Shakespeare compared to this. I believe it was Kevin Nash who did that the first time. Just one little took and
that's the Finger Poke of Doom, and then the Katie Vick which is terrible. But compared to this, it's fucking Shakespeare.
Can it get any worse? Never ever ask that question. But I know what I'm doing, Colin. I know what I'm doing. I know that. If there's anybody that knows that, it's Loki. And I know what I'm doing. I'm asking for it. So Book gets down to the planet with Burnham because Burnham's gonna, save everything. We knew that. As soon as Burnham said, "I'm going with you," she's gonna save the day. She's gonna save the day. So you've got Ryan I guess it was an Orion heavy cruiser in orbit, shooting pew pew laser beams that are supposed to be photon torpedoes. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen what happens on a planetary scale when someone fires a photon torpedo, but it's a little more than a little fire and dirt flying up in the air. When a torpedo hits something, it releases a matter antimatter explosion.
Yeah.
These were the smallest matter antimatter explosions I've ever seen.
Don't forget, it'll only burn up, what was it, 10 hectares per minute or whatever. I mean,
Yeah. Every minute she was going to destroy 10 hectares.
yeah, which is
25 acres.
Yeah.
I don't see
With fire. Okay.
I don't see that.
Cool. So it'll grow back even stronger. Right on.
Yeah.
Fuck.
well, I know I know they were on.
Sorry, I shouldn't speak how forests work. Never mind.
I know they were under some heavy shielding, but at one point they said one of the shields had failed and they were going to go fix it, and yet still the torpedoes were doing barely any damage.
Yeah, there was nothing. The shields only got down to 10% on that little bitty Millennium Falcon looking thing.
Yeah.
Dash Rendar's Outrider, for anybody who knows Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Lore. Yeah. And they went full Star Wars. You had Lisa Left Eye, flying book ship. I'm going manual. And I immediately thought, Luke, you switched off your targeting computer. Is everything okay? I'm all right. They got R2. Pew, 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 pew.
They're going to use the farce.
She used the power of Burnham.
Oh, yes.
Burnham was in her ear, trust in your feelings. You know it to be true.
My Schwartz is bigger than your Schwartz.
Yeah. Let's see how well you handle it. Meanwhile, back on the USS Discovery, they, them, and thou are working on the plans to the Death Star, the super weapon that has taken out all the dilithium in the galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
Only a small band of rebels aboard Discovery are all that stands between the evil Federation Empire and galactic dominance of the galaxy.
Oh, and don't forget they found a signal in the middle of the Burns epicenter.
Yeah. And it's a Federation starship distress signal.
Yep. Federation caused the burn. Federation caused the burn. I think we all know what is coming. It's a Federation distress signal from a starship. And Tilly automatically knows what it is because, she's been listening to 32nd century Federation distress signals all throughout her Starfleet Academy days.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So she immediately knew exactly what it was.
And also that music that everybody knows seems to be coming from the same epicenter.
Yeah, just like BSG.
Do you guys think that if in the 32nd century they heard Morse code, someone by ear would know exactly what that is? Would you automatically know what it is, considering it's been 1,000 years over that since anybody used that? I mean, we have completely in what? It's been 70, 80 years since we used anything like that on a daily basis. Do you think anybody would know the difference between current day communication signal and that?
Not unless
they just run it through the computer.
Yeah, not unless you program the computer to understand all kind of communication forms.
In theory, isn't that what the Universal Translator's for?
That's what it's for.
Yep.
So
$2 super chat from Cycle Run. I'd rather get drunk and watch Robotech.
Go.
let's
Yeah.
go.
Let's go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Michael Burnham and Tilly in Jason X.
One wishes. I don't think he could lift Tilly though.
And yeah, Captain Spire even took the Enterprise crew time to realize the Beeger transmission was radio signals sent over a very powerful wave and sped up. Yeah, they had to slow that transmission down to a crawl to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
There is one thing that'll piss me off beyond recognition that something will get thrown is if they get to the center of this epicenter and it's the fucking Enterprise.
Oh.
Which Enterprise?
Enterprise. Well, let's see. They'd probably go by what? They wouldn't use E.
Well, I mean, we've seen the
Probably up
J.
to S by now. As many of Enterprises as they go through, they lose one every 2 or 3 years.
Well, the J would have been like 100 years before, or 200 years before. Like right before the burn would have been the J.
Or they could just, it could just be no A, B, C, or D.
Or D.
It could just
bloody
be,
D.
it could be Pike in suspended animation.
Oh Lord.
We need
Or
to
it'll be a sovereign class with an X written after Enterprise. Just, because, Voyager.
Yeah.
we need the whale probe to come back and wipe out Burnham.
I don't talk about the whale probe. I love Star Trek 4. That's my second favorite Star Trek movie of all time. I love 2 and I love 4. 3 would probably be a little after that. It's being carried over an insane subspace amplifier wave.
Okay.
Yeah, and Saru apparently has abnormal acuity with his hearing because he picks out, something in the transmission that nobody else can hear.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody? Okay, I went back and watched this whole series. God help me, before season 3 started. And they've never pointed that out, have they?
No.
I don't think so. I mean, he's a predator, he was prey, so I guess it makes sense he would have good hearing and good eyesight. They pointed out his eyesight many times.
Yeah.
But I don't ever recall them mentioning he had good hearing.
Well, they focus on that too. His eyes get bigger and bigger, and his cornea amplifies, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, for a minute there, I thought he was going to start shooting quills at everybody.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't looking forward to that. Burnham wasn't on the bridge.
Well, this was in engineering, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, Michael
just
Burnham wasn't
happened to
there.
be.
So.
Happened to be where they were walking to, though they didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole source of the burn was the biggest, most important thing from last episode. And then this episode was treated almost as an afterthought. So he's like, oh, yeah, and Stamets happens to have info on the burn. He'd like to see you.
Yeah.
And then they just happen to be outside engineering. And for some reason, he has to hit a button to open the door. Is this the only door on the ship that doesn't open automatically?
Apparently so. It needs a lock.
It's
gotta
top
knock
secret,
first.
don't you know?
And then Stamets and them were inside, standing just waiting for them, as if they knew they were about to show up.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Giorgio's running around the ship with secret codes that she can break into anything.
Does this make sense to anyone out there listening? Because believe me, it did not make sense to us while we were watching it.
Nope.
I don't know what the point of any of this was.
I just assumed she overheard the doctor put in the code and just memorized it. I don't know.
When you'd rather go and get a root canal than watch STD. Because I'm there, ladies and gentlemen. I am there. I'd rather go get a root canal than watch Star Trek Discovery. Ratings.
How many more episodes are there?
Six more.
Six more.
This is episode 7. There are 13
15,
episodes
8.
in the season.
Ugh.
So you got 8, 9, 10, 11.
Just
12,
a question
13.
for next week.
This is episode 8.
Oh, this is episode 8. 5 more.
Okay, just a question for
still.
next week there, Loki. Are we disqualified from the panel if we've had one too many Labatt Blues and we're a little slurry?
No, because even then, the rest of us aren't going to understand any of this any better than you do anyway. You'll probably see where the writers were coming from, because they're either high or drunk off their ass when they write this. And it's still not funny.
I think Broken Entertainment's right. Sounds like 6 people wrote this script in different rooms.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
Folks,
did.
Literally, we watched this episode and I could not make heads or tails of it. I mean, I from one scene to the next, I couldn't follow what was going on.
No.
Well, the way they edited the episode, you couldn't follow what was going on. It was like screenshot to screenshot instead of scene to scene. It was insane.
So final thoughts and ratings. We'll start with Sam.
I don't know. I have to agree with all of you guys. I don't know what the hell I just watched. I mean, was it a filler episode? It was what was supposed to be, and I'll give it a 1.
Dave Bob.
I can't even come up with a number for it. I mean, I can't go into negative territory, but honestly, there was nothing redeeming about this whole episode. Nothing was really brought, the story wasn't brought further along, anything. It just kind of, it was filler in the sense that, the main story of the burn was just a background thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was also nonsensical because you couldn't make any heads nor tails of what they were actually doing on this planet. So I don't know, a 1, I mean, who knows?
All right. Rambling Canuck.
Well, I think I can just sum it up like this. Burn it.
Burn it.
Fire.
Bird of Prey 5.
Okay, I thought there was a little redeeming stuff. I thought Detmer's arc, the fact that her PTSD seems to be over now. Granted, it was a little weird the way it got there, but I was happy to see it. There was some decent space battling. I did laugh at the cat, although probably a lot of other things I shouldn't have laughed at. I thought there was some value to this episode, but the writing is just, they keep shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over again. The more I talk about it, the worse it gets. And I think next week, and I don't think it doesn't look like they're going to do it, but there should be a hell to pay for starting a war with the chain. It seems like they're ignoring that.
Yeah.
But all that aside, just because we got some decent space battle, Detmer, and a cat joke, I'll give it a 3.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm being generous. I feel like I'm in a good mood. I watched two episodes of DS9 yesterday.
How many?
I'm in a good mood.
That'll do it.
Oh, That'll do it. That'll do it. And Heiress of Chaos with a 149 super sticker says, nope. Just nope.
Nope.
And we totally get you, because from the first moment I started watching this, I wanted to.
God, I want to punch an old woman in the face.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. It's just punch an old woman in the face. Thank you so very much, Heiress of Chaos. You guys keep the home fires burning bright here in Valhalla. Thank you. I have to give this. I'm gonna give this episode a 2. I'm gonna give it a 2. And mostly because it was just, what did I watch? What did I watch? I didn't laugh. I wasn't like screaming that they fucked something up or completely destroyed something or burned some lore that we love in Star Trek. They just stood there with their fingers up their ass, smiling and crying in hallways. There wasn't anything that made any sense whatsoever. It's like that scene in Billy Madison, where the guy's like, we are all now dumber for having listened to this. Well, we're all now just a little bit dumber for having watched this because nothing happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch TNG today.
I thank you, panel, for being here. Thank you, chat, for being here. We have got Robert Meyer Burnett coming up at noon today.
Awesome.
Central Standard Time. So a little over 3 hours from now, we've got Robert Meyer Burnett coming on Mornings of Mischief. Of course, he is a huge Star Trek guru, and we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of just who Robert Meyer Burnett is and how he got where he got. That's going to be the big question. I know people are like, oh, ask him about Star Trek. Oh, ask him about The Hills Run Red. Oh, ask him about this. I want to get to know Robert Meyer Burnett today. And hopefully all of you will join us. And we've got a $2 super chat from Captain Spire. Movies they review on RLM have more value than STD. And yeah, Heiress of Chaos, Loki, in the words of Mahler, is an unbridled meh. But just for you, Captain Spire, I think I've got one left around here somewhere that I haven't. Oh yeah, we'll wake you up with some good stuff here. Skull! When Bill and Ted time travel, and it makes more sense than STD. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. Thank you so much, Captain Spire. Bad Steven Skull, I want on that panel. There's not going to be a panel. It's just going to be me and him. It's just going to be me and him kicking back, having that fireside chat with Loki later today. Guys, we have Samantha Joe here from half of Tag Team Valkyrie. They run Rise and Shine with the Valkyries every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and now you got Purple doing something on the weekend.
Yeah, Purple's doing Discworld on Sundays, on Sunday afternoon, Sunday at noon. As far as I'm aware, she's still doing it. I think she's going to be covering films, a couple of the films.
Awesome.
Individually. Awesome. I'm not 110% sure on that one, but that's what she's going to be doing on Sundays.
Absolutely kick-ass. Guys, check out Rise and Shine with the Valkyries. We've got my brother from another mother, Dave Bob, who will be back with us tomorrow, along with Loriana Creel. We're going to watch something that I'm actually enjoying, The Mandalorian.
Yes, wash the taste out of my mouth.
Yes, that's the only thing saving me right now from the poisonous dren of STD. Rambling Canuck is one half of History with an R&R. Do you guys got something coming up you want to tell us about?
Yeah, we've got Stalin 3 coming up on Friday, and then the next radio show will star Loki.
Really?
Awesome.
Really? Loki,
Yes.
not Peter Whalen.
No. He is coming back though. He is our bona fide announcer. But Loki will be the star with Chris Knight, and then the radio show after that will be starred by the Valkyries. Valkyries are taking over for that one.
Loki guy.
Loki. And of course, we have the Star Trek guru himself, Bird of Prey 5, who has a wonderful, wonderful YouTube channel. Bird, you got anything going on that you want to tell us about?
Well, I released my hour-long, in-depth reaction and review to this episode earlier this morning. And tomorrow, my usual live stream at 5 p.m. Eastern. And I basically stream every day, but those are the latest.
Awesome, brother. Thank you all for hopping on here and doing this with me, because believe me, I couldn't do it by myself. I'd already be in a mental institution for screaming at my television like it can hear me. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with us this morning. Thank everyone in chat. Thank you so much for listening to this, because guys, it hurts us just as much as it hurts you. If you're watching this, I pity you. I do. We've got to figure out something better, because Star Trek is just, it's dead, Jim. It's dead, Jim.
It's dead, Jim. Mm-hmm.
So guys, without busy, I have been getting ready for this huge interview that I'm going to do today. I have not gotten the outro updated for the patrons, so I'm going to give you guys some Kratos. Thank you all for being here. Everyone have a better day, and we will catch you later today with Robert Meyer Burnett.
Yeah.
Take
Bye,
care,
everybody.
Kapla.
Kapla, everybody.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.